Okay. So yesterday we discussed about some basic things like how do we join the data, how do we blend the data, and what are the various options
So
available.
blending is the so blending means that the relationship that we are creating in between two tables,
Two different data sources.
the linking key.
Yes, linking.
Yeah, sorry, two different data sources.
Yes.
Linking key. Okay.
Okay. And that is just basic thing while blending the data. Okay. There will be a lot more things, a lot more scenarios where we can take the advantage of blending. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll be discussing about those features where we will leverage the advantages of blending the data and how do we use in couple of scenarios. Okay.
Okay.
And first and most this thing most commonly used is this aliasing, primary aliasing. Okay. What are those primary aliasing? We'll go through it once. So
Okay.
for that I have a different data source, different data set, not the one we generally use. So I have a different data set which has all the state per state, what is the population. Okay,
Now
fine.
this is a different data source again
Yeah, this is
completely.
a different data source. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now I have these states which has population by state. So I can use those metrics. And another thing is we have the superstore data source, right?
Yes.
In that we have state as well as region.
Yes.
Here in this case I just have the state.
Yes.
So what can I do? I want to know population
Add a
by
data
region
source.
also. Okay.
Add a data source and make it like primary and secondary
Yeah.
and use data binding
Exactly.
and we can
So
get it.
if we don't have data blending, what we have to do? I have to create a grouping, and I have to select couple of.
Grouping?
Yeah, I can say I can select some states, and I can say some west region, right?
Yeah.
So like this.
Okay, we are creating. So,
Yeah, I mean, if I want to figure out regions for these states, what I have to do, I have to select those state respective states which fall under West region, and I have to select them, and I have to create a group, right?
yes. Yes.
And this is a tedious process, isn't it?
Definitely. And we don't even get sales for that. We
Exactly.
only can get the regions by grouping.
Of course, I want regions only.
Okay, the requirement is not for the
Yeah,
sales
for
again.
now,
Okay.
I want regions only. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So even though I want regions, I can do this way. I can create groups from the states. I can take that. I can do manually. But why don't I take the advantage of the superstore data source where it has the mapping of region and state? There is a mapping, right?
Yes.
So let us take the advantage of that data source. New data source. What is the data source? Superstore, right? Okay. Now I want orders. Okay, orders has both region as well as state, right?
Yes.
See, I have region and as well as state, so this is sufficient for me. I don't need all other. Fine. Now in orders
Yeah.
superstore data source I have region. Okay, I can
Oh,
drag.
yeah.
See here, this is already in orange because whenever we use linking fields, state is the linking field between these two, right? State is the only common thing
Yes.
between. Whenever we use the linking fields on the sheet, the relation will be established automatically.
Yesterday we tried to establish the relationship. It did not get established by itself.
Yeah, because we use the
We
other fields, not the state itself. Here, state itself is the linking field, right? So, as I'm
Okay,
using
okay,
state itself on the sheet, it will establish the relation by default.
okay, got it.
Okay. Now, so I
Yeah.
can use region. Okay. So I have region and state. I know which state is falling under which region now. So
Yes.
I'm taking the advantage of data blending here. But the problem is, see, there are a couple of states which are not available as part of the order superstore data source, so it doesn't have mapping.
Oh,
See, in this case, what does it do? It does left outer join, right? So it considers all the states within this data source, population by state, and if left outer join, if the relevant values are not available, then what it does, it will give
null.
return a null. Okay.
Yeah.
See, the
Yes.
same thing if I do other way. If I first pull region and then uh, pull state, there is no null because the primary data source is superstore data source. So it considers whatever regions it has and figures out appropriate states. Here left join is applied on
Yes.
the superstore, not on the population.
Okay. So
So in this case, Alaska
so
itself is
left
not available.
join. So all the regions are being included,
Yeah.
and the states related to the regions are being there.
Yes.
So the other two states that are in the second data source
Yeah.
that are
But
not getting displayed.
they are not getting displayed because of the left join.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Clear, right? So that is the,
Yes. Very much.
I mean, that's the reason we have to choose the primary data source very carefully. We don't have an option to change
Right.
the type of join here. It is always left join. Okay.
Yes.
So we have to be very careful while dragging the first field. Here, I dragged the state from the population by state data source, so it became primary data source, and it is considering all the states within this population by state data source. Hence, there are some nulls for region. Okay.
So just in case if the requirement is like we need all the states,
Mm-hmm.
and what do you do with the null value then?
Yeah, so that is what we need to do something for the null values. Of course, the data source doesn't have the secondary data source doesn't have the mapping for these two states, but I should be able to create the mapping manually, right?
Yes.
So that is what we can do is select that and say create primary group. Okay.
Okay.
Now I can choose this and drag into particular region. If that Alaska belongs to west region, I can drag that, and Hawaii belongs to east region, I can drag that into east region.
Okay.
Okay.
So in this case, we know that okay, Hawaii is from. We can Google it and we can know that
Yeah.
this is some state that is related to which region.
Yeah.
But in many cases, we don't know what the data is about. So how will you figure out where do you need to put the data in?
Client knows. I mean, client will have complete knowledge about data. Okay. Uh,
Yeah,
we cannot.
and the reports as well.
Yeah. But he knows each and everything. Okay.
Yeah.
He knows the data
Okay.
very well, but he may not know the how do we leverage that data and how do we leverage
Technicality.
the analysis. Okay, but he definitely is
Yeah.
very well versed in terms of the data. Okay, maybe
Yeah.
the person who is in contact with us may not know, but somehow he will get it from someone else.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so we can ask the client at any time.
Okay. So now I can create a primary group. See, a this is nothing but a group only, right? And
Yeah.
and that primary group is created as part of the primary data source.
Okay.
Okay. And now what I can do, I can get rid of this and I can use this one. Okay.
Okay.
So I used this one, population by state data source region. This is a group, right? And I used this one,
Mm.
and now we have already given mapping, right? So where is Alaska?
Yes.
Alaska is in west,
Yeah.
and where is Hawaii? Hawaii is in east here.
Yeah.
Okay, we created.
So I have one more doubt.
Yeah.
Hello. Sorry, I have one more doubt. You said we need to be very careful while choosing the primary and secondary data sources.
Hmm.
Hello?
Yeah, yeah. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. I can.
Yes, Sudhir, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I'm able to hear you now. No, I was not able to hear you just a minute ago. Okay. So I was just asking, we need to be very careful while sorting out which is our primary and which is our secondary data source. So is there any um, baseline or any statement that we need to follow, any thumb rule that this can be our first primary data source and
And
some other data source can be our secondary
it
data
depends
source?
upon whatever fields you are using and what you are looking for. Here,
Because right now when you showed
here
me,
in
I never expected that there.
yeah.
Right now when we got this
Hmm.
null value with the two states, so I never expected that there is for two states there can be some region that is not allotted at all.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. So
how can we know that?
here in this case, our target is to figure out regions per state in the population by state data source, right?
Yeah, region state okay, yeah, which state belongs to which region?
Then
Yes.
it must be the primary data source. Our target is our
Okay.
focus is on this data source, right? Okay.
Okay.
But there is no really thumb rule. I mean, we have to figure out which makes sense to apply.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and I mean, you have the flexibility to to choose primary data source and secondary data source for each sheet, right? It is not for entire workbook. It is just for that sheet.
Okay. Right.
Okay, so
Right. Right.
you can slice and dice
So
based on your.
yeah, when we need. Okay, got it. So when we are in a situation that, okay, we want some particular field in some particular data source,
Hmm.
that is the main thing.
Yeah.
So that data source becomes the primary data source.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So now I have a primary group, and which is I'm using this now. I have all the mappings. So I'm not using this group. I mean this data source anymore. I can get rid of this. See, still it is working. I got rid of the other data source, secondary data source, but still I have all the mappings. It will
Okay.
pull the
Okay.
data from the secondary data source to primary data source.
Okay. Primary grouping.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So this group can be created in the primary data source or the secondary data source.
This group is created on the primary data source, right?
Yeah.
This is a
So
group.
groups
Hmm.
Yeah, so groups can be created only on the primary data sources, right? It can't be created on the secondary.
Normal groups can be created on any data source. This is different. While
Yeah,
blending,
this is different. That's why I'm
while
asking you.
blending, we have this feature: primary data source,
Yeah,
create primary grouping. This is different. While blending, we
yeah,
have
primary.
feature, and that feature will be available only on the this one secondary data source field.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
See, let us do this again. Okay, this is what I have right initially. Now I am using region. See, this primary create primary data group, sorry, create primary group option is available on this one only, secondary field only. It doesn't have this option.
Yeah, that's what I was asking you. We
Okay.
don't have that option.
Yeah.
Okay,
Primary group is different, grouping is different. Okay. This primary group option will be there
okay.
on for this field only. Now,
Secondary.
this field is from secondary data source.
Yeah,
Okay. Here it is not available.
secondary.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
And you can say, you can pull this.
Hmm. Okay, got it very clearly now.
So you're right. And that primary
Yes,
group is created in the primary data source.
in the secondary data source.
No, this is primary data source. Population by state is primary data source,
Okay, right, right, right.
right?
Now,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that is about creating primary group. Clear, right?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So we are fine with this. And there is another feature: edit primary aliases. Yesterday, while discussing about aliases, you mentioned something, right? I can, so I can give alias. I can say I can create a group also, right? You mentioned.
Yeah, like we got that example, same example. Hyderabad name is in two different data sources. The
Hmm.
name is different, so we want to combine that Hyderabad into one.
Yeah.
So
HYD
we
is
can just
Hyderabad.
use,
Exactly. So
yeah,
this data source has similar example. See, this we have two different data sources. One is global superstore, which has all the country names. Okay, all the country names, and we have another data source which has country code as well as country name. Okay, this is country code and this is country name. Now we have, this is primary data source. We have all the country names here. I want to give alias for these names. I want to give let's say for India IN, for USA, for United States of America USA, like that. Okay, so what I will do is I will use other data source and I will use country code which is there in the secondary data source here. Okay,
okay,
see, now it has country name and country code. Country is
yes,
the joining field, linking field.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
This one, country here in the secondary data source and country on the primary data source are linking fields.
yeah,
We are blending the data from this one, right?
right,
From the secondary data source. Okay. Now what I will do, I want to apply this one AF as alias name for Afghanistan, and a
okay,
alias name for Azerbaijan, like this. Now what I can do, edit primary aliases.
okay,
If I say edit primary aliases, it will figure out all the member name and alias values. Okay, so star means it has alias. See. Wherever it has star, it has alias. See, here we don't have star.
Yeah.
For United States, we don't have alias. So we can give a alias
Oh,
ourselves manually. See, now it has star.
oh,
So it means it has an alias for this. Okay, for rest of the value,
okay.
it has alias, right? Now save it.
Yeah.
Okay. So see, country is showing alias names now. I mean, codes now, not country name, right?
Okay. Why is that?
That's what we did aliasing, right?
Okay, okay. So it used all the alias names
Codes,
instead.
yeah, codes here in the original field, primary data source column.
Yeah, and the country code became null.
Yes, obviously. See,
Why is that?
the linking field is country column, right? Country field, right?
Yes.
In the primary data source, now country field has all the codes. In the secondary data source, country field has names.
Yeah.
So obviously there are no matching fields for everything. It does for each of the country code there is no matching field, so it becomes null, isn't it?
Okay. So how is the sales being displayed then when there is no
It is
relationship
displayed
now?
for this one. It is based on the primary data source, right?
Okay.
It is displayed for this one only, isn't it? So now what you can do,
Okay.
you can edit relationships. Okay, so
Yep.
the, what you have to do for country on the primary data source, now country code is the matching field, linking field, right? See, now
Yep.
has the match. Okay,
Hmm.
is it clear?
Yep. Yes.
Clear, right? So that is how
Yes, it's clear.
you can create aliases from the other data source. Okay, that alias is given on
Okay.
the primary data source, this field. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now, okay, you have created alias. Now you want to get rid of this alias for some reason. What do we do?
Okay.
Select that field, say edit aliases, and say clear alias. Okay, see,
Okay.
alias now. Okay, now it is not matching because we are joining with codes. What we can do? We can say country. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that's how we can take the advantage of blending for primary grouping and aliasing.
Okay.
Okay, your guess was correct. We can take the advantage of grouping also for aliasing. Okay, we can do something similar.
Okay.
Create primary group also. See,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But it doesn't. It is not really a group because it has only one member. We don't. It doesn't make sense to call it as a group.
Yes.
Okay, only when it has collection of multiple members, then only we call it as group. Otherwise, we can do this way also. There is nothing wrong in this. Okay,
Okay.
but the problem
Okay.
is there will be a new field created. This is earlier while aliasing in for the same field, it has updated the values.
Yes.
Now, if I create it as a primary group, then it will create a new field. That is the only difference. But otherwise, it is absolutely correct. If you want two different fields, you can do this one also.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want two different fields,
If
one
you're
is with
wanting only one.
abbreviation, one is with the full name, then you can say primary group.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, yesterday's your guess was correct. Okay,
Okay.
good.
Uh,
So that is about primary aliasing and primary grouping and editing primary alias. Okay,
okay.
fine. We have
Okay. Okay.
more options. We have extracting the data. We have discussed it, right? Let us
Yeah.
let us extract the data.
Go back to the extract.
Uh, this, okay. Now I have extracted the data, or let us get rid of this. We don't need all these things for extracting. Okay, so what I can say, extract, and let us say I want to extract only 2013 data. Okay,
Okay.
now it will extract that into a extract.tde file. Okay, then it is saved and it is used in the data, this worksheet, this workbook. Now this is the visual representation for the extract, right? See, and now
Yes.
I choose order date, and it has only data for 2013 because I have created an extract through only 2013. Here I have an option to choose the extract or to not to choose the extract. See, if I say use extract, it will use the extract. If I say uncheck this, then it will use the original data source. So if you want
Yes.
to switch between extract and original data source while your analysis, you can use this. Okay,
Okay.
and there are more
Okay. Okay.
options for this. See, extract, you can refresh the extract. So if there are more records for 2013 in the original data source, if you say refresh, it will update the more records. Okay, because
So we can do that by auto update as well, right?
what is auto update?
Auto data update or something like that. With
No, no, for extract there is no auto update. I mean, if you publish the data source, then
okay, only for live data.
you will refresh. Okay,
Okay.
we
Okay.
did not
Right.
publish
Right.
the data source yet. Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, so if I say refresh, it will get refreshing the extract will replace its contents. If you have modified filters or hidden fields, you may be replacing important data. Are you sure? Do you want to proceed? What it saying is refreshing the extract will replace its contents. So it will replace everything. Okay, and it is
Yeah.
time consuming also. And if you have any changes, it will override those changes. Okay, so that is the reason. Uh,
The filter is
yeah,
the filter is still the same, but only the data is for applying the same filter. It is getting re-executed, and the new data is popping up.
yeah. So let's say if there are no changes in the previously extracted records and you want to append only those fresh records which are in the database. So what you can do is you can say here we have this option, incremental refresh for the extract. Okay, if you enable this incremental refresh, then it does only it inserts fresh records based on the selected field. Okay, it will choose.
It is in okay.
See, based on the
So
order
is
ID.
that the filter?
Yeah,
Is that the filter column that you are selecting here, or is that like any column you can select and based on that it is
any integer column. See, or date column.
okay.
Okay, see, I have if I select row ID, so I have row ID still 200 in the extract. So any row ID beyond 200 and by applying 2013. So in 2013, if there are new rows beyond 200, it will consider those rows and append the extract.
Okay.
Refresh that.
Okay.
Okay, see, now we have changed the
Okay.
field, this thing extracting option. Now see, I have two different options now: incremental refresh and full refresh. Okay, if
Yeah.
I say incremental refresh, it will consider whatever the field we give. Yeah, we gave row ID, right? If there are new rows with, I mean, which are more than that row ID, it will get those records within 2013 itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so it will not override the existing records, it will get only new records. Let's say there are some changes in the existing records in the data source, then if you want to override them, you can say full refresh.
For suppose there are records that are deleted, then you are saying incremental. So what does it do? It
If there are some records
does it delete
deleted,
the records?
you have to do full refresh.
Hello. Full refresh.
Yeah, I mean that means it is modifying the existing refresh, right? Existing extract, right?
Yes.
So you have to do full refresh.
Okay. Increment. If you are doing in that case, it will only try to increment, but it won't delete whatever records has been lost in the data
Whatever
source.
records are there in the extract, it won't do anything. It will just add new records.
Okay. Okay. Full refresh. If there is any modification, deleting of the records, then it
Yeah,
will update. Okay.
exactly. Okay, and let's say you have more data in a different file, then you can say append data from file. Now I have 2014 data in different file, not in the original data source I have chosen. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, some I mean the structure should be same when we choose append data file, append data source. So what we do, we'll create a new one. I think for 2014 that file the structure is different. What we'll do is we'll just create, we'll just append 2013 first. I have different file for 2013. Okay, 2013. So I have only 2013 data. Now what I will do, append data from 2014. Okay. Now I got data for 2013 as well as 14. So that way I can append the data for 2011 or 12, anything. If the data is there in another data source, if data is there in the same data source, what we can do, simply refresh. Okay. Hello.
Um. No, I didn't get it. Can you just repeat?
Yeah. See, if there is data, if there is new data within the same data source, okay,
Yeah,
what we can do, we can simply say refresh, refresh. Okay,
yeah,
if there is data in the different data source and you want to append
yeah,
that, okay,
yeah.
then what you can do, you can say append data from file.
Okay. So it's adding total, like it's unioning. It's like
Yeah,
union.
yeah, it's not union. Union is different. It will pull the data into this one itself, into extract itself. Union is just
How is
querying.
it you different from union?
Union is just querying. Okay. Appending means it will
The result is the same.
result is same from the from our end, but originally in the files data will be appended. If I use append data, if I say union, data will not be appended in the extract.
Okay, it will only be appended in the Tableau environment.
Result set, yes, exactly.
But whereas in the data source, the data is not getting appended.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that is querying. It will query data from two different things and show together. That's it.
So we can say that the data, when we are unioning, the data is not is only getting
Queried.
appended in the result set,
Yes.
in the result set.
Yeah.
And if we are using this append data, then it is in the Tableau
In the data
environment,
source
it is
itself,
getting
it is
appended
inserting the data. It is appending the data.
in the data source. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
that's how you can refresh the data source, refresh the extract, and append the data to extract.
Okay.
Okay. See. Once again, you can use the extract, or you can switch. You can choose not to use the extract, or you can say refresh the data, refresh the extract, or append data from the extract. Okay. If you want,
So
yeah,
when we are using extract and we are using, like, we are unchecking the use extract, it is going live again.
yeah, exactly.
So what if any filters we have used on the extract data source? All the filters get erased when we are doing that,
No, no, that extract will be there. TDE file will be there unless you say remove.
but it is going live.
It is connecting to
We are
original data
unchecking it,
source.
right?
Yeah, we are unchecking it. So it is we are connecting to original data source, but that TDE file will be there.
So it is connecting to the TD file that we have seen in the workbooks.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, okay. It is not going live.
Now, if I say if I unselect this, then it will connect to the original data source, whichever this extract is derived from.
Okay, it is derived from orders table.
Yeah,
So it is going to the orders, and it is like we have made some selections while doing extract, that it is we need only 2013 data.
hmm.
So that filter is being erased.
That filter is there in the .tde file, not in the
Okay,
workbook.
it is considering the filter and also going to the main data source.
No, it is not considering the filter. It does not
Okay,
consider
so
the
in
filter.
this case, if
Filter is applied in the .tde file, not in the workbook.
yeah, so that's what my question is. When we are unchecking it, so the filter is also going off and
Where does the filter is
it
going?
is directly connected.
Filter is originally created on the
Because
.tde file, and the filter is there on the TDE file. We are not erasing the filter on the TDE file.
yeah, we are not erasing, but we are not using the data source
We are
till
not using the
the 2013.
Yeah, we are not using the .tde file. We are connecting to original data source. That's it.
So, so that means we'll have all the data in the database. I
Exactly.
mean, in the front end when we're using
Yes.
now, before we got only 2013 because we used the extract.td file.
I
Okay,
see.
so we uncheck the use.
Okay. Now it is connected to original data source and it is showing all the years. It is not considered.
Yeah, this is what I wanted. Okay, yeah. So it's not considering the filter because it is directly connected. It's not connected to the .td file. No, it is
Exactly.
directly to the data source.
Exactly.
All the filters have been
All the years.
which we are using in this page.
Hmm.
Everything is gone. Okay. So
Okay.
we need to be very careful while doing this.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Fine. Then, if you want
Yeah,
to
fine.
remove it, you can remove the extract, and there is an option to you to optimize the extract. So, what does it do when you say optimize the extract? Let's say there are calculated fields. Okay, it will materialize those calculated fields in the extract. So, those fields are pre-computed in the extract. Okay,
Mm,
if you say optimize, so
okay,
that will improve the performance.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
and there are some exceptions. It makes sense to optimize only in certain scenarios. Let's say you are using a table
Exactly.
calculation. Okay, optimize. You are using a table calculation as part of a calculated field. Then it will
Yeah.
not materialize that field. Wherever it makes sense,
It will not optimize.
it will optimize. It will create the materialized fields.
Okay,
Okay, let's
okay.
say you are applying this optimize I mean calculated field. I mean in the calculated field there is a view level aggregation.
Okay.
Then how does it know where to apply that view? I mean there is no in the extract. What is the view? What is the granularity? It is just row granularity, right?
Yeah.
Whatever expression you apply, it will be executed on the row level granularity, and it will create
Yes.
the calculated field. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that is about optimization, and optimization also helpful. Let's say you have some filters, guided filters. Okay, and you choose to show only relevant data like this. Let us take region and state. Okay, let's say you choose to show only relevant data for this. Here only relevant values, not all values. So it will
Yep.
it will show only states for this region,
Only
right?
central. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Region wise.
yeah. So this optimizing the extract will help in optimizing the query also. It will create a caching. It will create a view and cache the data for all these things. Okay, for possible combinations. So, I mean, because every time it has to query the data, right? Query the data source, right?
Yeah.
So, what
Yeah.
it will create a view for relevant things, and it will create the it will create a cache so that quickly these queries are retrieved. Okay,
Okay.
fine. So that is about optimizing the extract. And you can see the history. We have appended the data. We have done incremental refresh, and we have done full refresh, so on so time. And this is the path of the data from which I have appended the data like this. So I can clear off this history, and it will be useful like this. Fine. And whatever we have done, so here it has the description. This is the original data source, right?
Yep.
Okay. So there is no aggregation on the extract. We have filtered on the year of order date, and extract limits there are no, and we have done a database engine. This data engine database. What is that? Tableau data engine database. So the data extract is Tableau engine itself. Fine. So that is about extracting and using the extract and refreshing the extract and appending the extract and optimizing the extract. Fine.
Okay. Okay.
So that is what we have this one. And yeah, this is about extracts. Then we have more features to connect to data. Let us close this. Now, yesterday we discussed, I mean, we have gone through how we can connect to a SQL Server database, right?
Yep.
Once you connect to a RDBMS database, you have more options, not just like choosing the tables, you can write your own query to pull the data. Okay, it's not selecting those tables and joining those tables. You can write your own query, and that result set out of that query will be used in the this thing, okay, Tableau. How come too much slow? Okay, fine. So you can choose the database, and here, okay. So here you have all the tables. You can apply join just like this, just like any other file-based data source or anything. Okay, so you can choose the joins. See here in this case, all the joins are available for a RDBMS data source. Instead, what you can do is you can write your own customized query. Okay,
Yes.
let us write a query.
So for
Select.
this we need to go to RDBMS and do we,
Yeah, if the connected database is
why did we connect to RDBMS?
hmm?
Okay, just to get some other data source we have connected to the RDBMS.
Yeah,
Okay.
select from orders. Let's start from orders where uh, year of order date equal to 2013. Okay, let us execute this. Is this working or not? We'll see. Tableau admin Tableau. Okay, let us execute this. something wrong. Okay, fine. Okay, now I can write a customized query and see. Using that customized query, I can pull the data. See, it is showing only 2013. If I say 2012, it is showing only 2012. Okay, so here itself you can apply joins, whatever tables you want. If you want to apply inner join with people, and you can apply join, and you can pull the data from people also.
So this order date is from which table?
What?
Okay, I'll order. No, you're coming to that point. I'm waiting.
Okay, so we are applying a join now. Something wrong. Let us execute this query here.
That's what I was asking. Year, order date. Order date is from which P dot or O dot?
No, no, order date is only in orders table, not in other tables.
But we need to declare in here also, right?
Not required. See, it is
O dot order date.
no, it is executing.
No?
No, no, not required.
Oh, okay.
Error occurred. Uh, the column region was specified multiple times for custom SQL query. Okay, okay, that was the problem. This result has region, right?
Yeah.
Region from both the tables, orders table as well as people table, right?
Yes.
So that was causing duplicate. So we have to give some alias name for that. Okay. So what we can say is
Okay.
uh, p dot people, comma p dot region. You can give some alias name. Here what we will give region underscore one something. Oh,
Invalid
person, huh?
from unknown people.
Person. Okay. Okay. So here we have see region 1 as well as region.
Why did not it accept with the same region?
So it cannot have two different columns within the same result, right? The output is same table, right? One table
It
only.
can append. It it doesn't append.
No, it doesn't happen by default.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how you can write a customized query also, and you can see preview results.
Okay. P
Okay,
dot region is renamed as
and
region
you
one.
can also pass a parameter instead of a static value. You can create a parameter and say here
Insert parameter.
enter list 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, right? So by default
No,
it is taking
it's
2011. Okay,
yeah.
default value. See, now I have used a parameter here. Fine,
Okay.
in the custom query.
Okay.
See, now it is showing 2011 because 2011 was the default value. So here what you can do, you can choose the parameter value. Correspondingly, that value will be updated in the query also.
Yes.
Okay, so that is the
Okay.
advantage of customizing query. You can apply, you can pull as many as tables you want, and you can apply any aggregation, anything. Okay.
Okay. So how do I know all these queries? It's a bit difficult.
Huh?
The query that you wrote just now, I don't think I can write such good queries. I know the basic level of queries, but
This is simple, right?
I understand this is a little bit complicated.
Is it?
This one I'm understanding, but O dot star, that is O dot star
Okay.
that you wrote in
So
the custom query.
yeah. So what does it is? O dot star means pull all the columns from O, means orders table. Okay.
Order stable.
Yeah. Pull all the columns
Oops.
from
Then why have order table, and from the other table we are only
other table.
giving
We need to give
persons
alias,
column?
right? We need to give alias, right? So that is the reason I called the columns independently, individually.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Okay, right.
And this is pretty much simple. There will be lot more stuff. Okay.
I need to learn TSQL.
Yeah, yeah. You should. If you have TSQL, then definitely it will add a lot of value for the profile.
Definitely, because they are asking TSQL. Do you teach TSQL as well?
No, no, no. I can't. Okay, that takes another 30 days, and first of all, I am not an expert in that.
I'll forget.
Yeah,
I'll forget whatever I have learned in Tableau as well.
yeah,
I'll learn that, and I'll only know TSQL. I'll forget what is this.
yeah, yeah. First, focus on Tableau only. You learn TSQL a little bit, I mean, as a secondary skill. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
First,
So
if I get job in this.
we can use the custom SQL for the as a data source. Instead, what you can do is you can use a SP also as a data source. See, now
Yes.
I'm using a SP, and in the SP I am select
Total person.
um, this thing data by passing a year. Okay,
Yeah.
it has a
Yeah.
parameter. This particular SP has a parameter, and I need to pass the value here. I can choose 2011. Okay. Oh, I'm using a external server data. I would have used local data only. Okay,
So,
finally. Okay, so I got data for 2011. If you want, you can edit the parameter to 2012. Instead, you can use a parameter. You have already created a
yeah.
parameter, and you can simply use that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that parameter value you can change as per your wish.
Yeah. Every time coming to the data source and changing
Yeah,
this
I'm
years
using a
process.
bad data source.
That's okay.
Okay.
2,933 analyzing problem segments with our.
Okay, fine. I don't have dare to change this. Okay. Now it takes another 10 minutes. Okay, I am stopping it here. Okay. So that's how
Okay.
we can use the this thing also, procedure also. So instead of
Oh,
writing queries
procedures.
every time, you can write that query in a procedure and save it, and you can use that procedure here. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that is about using data sources, RDBM as data source, and using a customized SQL, and writing using a SP to as a data source. These results will be used in the our workbook. Fine.
Connecting to
Okay.
custom using stored procedure. Okay.
Okay.
So we finished all this.
Yeah. Fine.
Okay.
We have more simple options. We can edit the data source. Let us connect to. Oh, unnecessarily I close that. Fine. Let us connect to SQL server. I will use the local one, local host. Uh, SQL Express. Fine. I have. Uh, okay, so I can write an SQL custom query or an SP. I can, or instead I can use the data source directly like this. Okay, now
It is showing right and full join as well.
yeah, for RDBMS it allows full join also. For file based it allows only inner join and left join. If you use legacy connection it will allow right join also.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
And if you are using
RDBMS
RDBMS,
okay,
okay.
then
Only for RDBMS or for many other things also it is having all
for RDB,
different connections.
for RDBMS. For other
Okay.
things, it depends. For Google Analytics and all, it follows different thing. We don't use joins, I guess. I did not use though.
Okay.
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 Wherever it makes sense, it will allow this thing. Okay.
Okay.
Then let's say you want to change the joins. What you can say, edit data source, and say if you want to remove returns, you can remove returns. So you have edit data source option here. Okay.
Yeah.
And let's say you want to publish the data source. I mean, you want to see, you can create a .tds file or tdsx file, packaged data source. We discussed this, right?
Yeah. What is publishing?
So you can save this data source as a tds or tdsx.
Yeah,
Okay.
we know we already learned about the saving of the data source. Is it
Yeah.
the similar thing or publishing is
It is
something
same.
different?
It is same. I mean, publishing is also called as publishing to server. So once we, uh, if you want to use this data source by all the people in the enterprise, what you can do is you can publish to server. We will discuss while we are discussing about server concepts.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Then let's say I want to connect to a new data source. Uh,
It's very slow.
yeah. Okay. Okay, the thing is, what we are trying to discuss is replacing the data sources. Let's say you have developed all the workbooks, whatever, in the UAT environment or QA environment. Okay, let's say you want to switch the environment to another thing. See, now what I did is I have this is let's say QA environment. You have developed all the worksheets in the UAT environment somewhere, and now you are moving to production. Okay, then you have to connect this data source. You have to connect all these workbooks to production data source, right? So then what you can do, simply select this and say replace data sources. Okay. So currently
Okay.
you are using this data source orders Tableau Superstore. Then if you want to replace, if you have to replace, if you want to replace to production, then you can choose the production environment here. Select this. Okay. See, the primary data source got changed here. All your
Okay.
worksheets, whatever, whichever we have, all the for all of them connection will get changed. Okay.
Okay. So from UAT to QAT to UAT, UAT to production,
Mm.
for everything we are changing this replacement.
Yeah.
I mean, we are using this replacement.
Yes. We'll create all those things
Okay.
in UAT while delivering it to the client. Okay, and then client will change that to production data. Basically, client is a little bit worried to share the production data with ourselves.
Credentials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they are scared about us. So what they will do, while moving to production, they will replace the data sources at their end.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so that was another simple option. And we have, let's say we are working with some older workbooks which are developed before 8 or 8.0 version or something before that, that will use for file based data sources, that will use legacy connection, right? But
Yes.
legacy connection has a lot of disadvantages. So what we can do is that this upgrade data sources will option will be enabled if you are using those previous things. If you choose that, it will connect to the latest data source. I mean latest connection. This thing. Uh, what is that plugin?
Latest version.
Yeah, latest version of the connection.
Okay.
Okay, so that is another option we have. Fine.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if you want to say what is that, if you want to close the data source, you can close this data source.
Close.
This is not required anymore, right?
No.
Because I have replaced the data source with other data source, so I can close the data source.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, this export data source and refresh data source we will discuss while discussing this one, server. Okay.
Server. Okay.
Here also refresh data source means it will simply refresh the data. Let's say there are some background fields. I mean, in the background there are new fields here. Let's say there
Okay.
is a new field called uh, something else added, and in the workbook that is not there. Okay. Whenever we are connecting to the data source, it will get all the fields. Let's say after connecting to the data source, there are more fields added in the database on the other hand. So if you say refresh, it will pull those fields also into our environment.
Okay.
Okay, you got the point?
Yeah, I got the point.
Okay,
Now I was only thinking like, why will the fields be added into a TD file?
this is not a TD.
This is the actual data. Okay.
Yeah, this is,
So for that we can just use auto update and leave it. It will get
we
updated
can say
whenever something
refresh.
is updating.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Okay,
even refresh.
we can say
Yeah.
refresh. Once you refresh, if there
Okay.
are new columns in the table, it will reflect here.
Auto update will also do the same, right? But refresh we are manually doing. That's the only difference.
That is different. That is dealing with the data. This is dealing with the fields. This is
Okay.
this is a schema
Okay.
change. That is a database change. I mean, that is a DML operation.
Okay. Got it. So
Okay,
yeah,
DML, DDL. You know the difference, right?
I
DML
don't
means
know, but
just
just
manipulating
now
the
I came
data.
to know.
DML means manipulating the
Okay.
data, like insert, update, delete. DDL
Yeah.
means data definition, like you add a new column or new table or something like change of the data type,
Yeah.
like
Oh, entire structure is getting
yeah,
changed. So
exactly, or dropping a
okay.
column, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, those kind of
Okay.
changes will be refreshed here if you say refresh.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
So that is about managing the data sources and various options available. Clear?
Okay. Yeah. Clear.
Fine.
Okay. Thank you, Sudhir.
Yeah. It seems for you it is getting late. Is it okay?
No, that's okay.